All right, let's talk about something that can feel like a total drag, but is actually your secret weapon for a killer restaurant: bookkeeping. We're going to break down how you can go from feeling buried in numbers to being in complete control. You know the feeling, right? The dining room is packed, the kitchen's humming, you're slammed every single night, but then you look at the bank account and you're just scratching your head thinking, where did all the money go? It's a super common and super frustrating problem to have.
Well, that's what we're here to fix. The goal is to take that financial data, which probably feels like a total mystery right now, and turn it into a clear, easy-to-read map that's going to guide every single decision you make from here on out.
So, why does this matter so much? Because good bookkeeping is literally the compass for your business. It's how you find your way out of that financial fog and into real, lasting financial health. It's about making smart moves based on facts, not just gut feelings. And you've got to stop thinking of your books as just some boring record of what's already happened. No way. They are the living, breathing key to unlocking your restaurant's future, to finding savings you didn't know existed, and really tapping into its true potential. Okay, so where do we even begin? Step one, the absolute foundation is getting a tight grip on every dollar that leaves your restaurant. It's time to tame those expenses and start drawing that financial map. And the main tool we're going to use is something called expense categorization. And honestly, it sounds more formal than it is. It's just the simple act of taking every single thing you spend money on and putting it into a specific bucket. Simple as that. Here's what it looks like in the real world. You get an invoice from your meat supplier, boom, that goes in the food costs bucket. The electric bill comes in, that's utilities. The payroll you run every week, that's your labor costs. See? It's just sorting, but it's incredibly powerful. And why bother? Well, because once you do this, you can actually create a real budget. It suddenly shines a huge spotlight on places you might be leaking money. You might notice, whoa, our paper goods costs went up 15% this quarter. It gives you that crystal clear picture of where your money is flowing, which is the first step to actually controlling it. All right, once you know where the money's going in general, it's time to zoom in on the big stuff. The costs that really move the needle in a restaurant. We've got to master your vitals. We're talking about your cost of goods sold, or COGS. All that means is the money you spend on the actual ingredients that go into the food and drinks you sell. This is the absolute heart of your kitchen's spending. And inside of COGS, there is one number to rule them all: your food cost percentage. Seriously, if you track nothing else, track this. It tells you exactly what percentage of a dish's menu price is spent on the ingredients to make it. So, what's a good number? Well, the industry sweet spot is right around 28 to 35%. If you calculate yours and it's way higher than that, that's a huge red flag. It means you're leaving money on the table with every single plate that goes out. You need to know that. And just look at the power of a few percentage points. A dish with a 35% food cost is so much less profitable than one at 25%. That 10% difference, multiplied by hundreds or thousands of sales a month, that can literally be the difference between just getting by and actually crushing it. So now that you're tracking everything and you're mastering those core costs, the real fun begins. Now we get to use that data. It's time to look backwards so you can learn from your own tracks and make way smarter moves going forward. See, the real magic happens when you start comparing your numbers over time. Looking at one period versus another is how you spot those creeping, dangerous trends before they become disasters. It's how you know if your new strategies are actually working, and it's how you find new opportunities. Take a look at this. Imagine this is your labor cost. You see that this month, it suddenly jumped up from last month. That chart immediately makes you ask, hey, what happened? Was it a ton of overtime? Did we overschedule? You can't fix a problem you can't even see. And this all comes back to a really important mindset. This idea of continuous improvement. Your restaurant's financial health isn't something you fix once. It's a constant cycle of looking at the numbers, making small adjustments, and always pushing for growth. So what should you compare? Easy. Look at this month versus last month for those quick trends. Compare this quarter against the same quarter last year to see how you're doing, apples to apples. And hey, if you can, compare your numbers to how the restaurant was doing before you took over. That's a great way to measure your impact. And here's the bottom line on this. Your involvement is everything. Owners and managers who actively get in there and review these numbers themselves are the ones who get better financial results. Period. You can't just hand it off and forget it. Okay, deep breath. we've covered a lot. We've talked about sorting your expenses, mastering your costs, and learning from the past. So let's tie it all together and look at this whole journey to making smarter decisions. First off, just a quick reminder, it's not all about the money going out. You have to track the money coming in with the same detail. Where's your revenue really coming from? Is it food, the bar, catering gigs? Knowing your income streams is just as important as knowing your costs. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, just come back to this. This is your simple 3-step financial health checkup. Number 1, categorize every expense, no exceptions. Number 2, master your key costs, especially that food cost percentage. And number 3, make a habit of comparing and analyzing your numbers over time. And I promise you, when you commit to doing this, a switch flips. Bookkeeping stops being this awful chore you do once a year for your accountant. It becomes your single most powerful, proactive tool for building a seriously profitable business. So I'm going to leave you with one final question to get you started. Don't try to boil the ocean. Just ask yourself this. What is the one number, food cost, labor cost, whatever, that my business absolutely needs to get a handle on by this time next week? Figure that out and start there.